Picture a legendary bridge so ancient, your grandpa's creaky knees feel like fresh rubber in comparison. Enter Ram Setu, aka Adam's Bridge, a rocky causeway linking India and Sri Lanka, famously claimed, by some enthusiasts, to have been handcrafted 1.7 million years ago by Lord Rama's own monkey construction crew. Yes, the Ramayana tells us those Vanaras, the original primate contractors, built the ultimate water crossing to rescue Sita from Lanka. In other words, they beat Home Depot by a casual 1.7 million years. But when scientists swapped mythological blueprints for geological tape measures, they found the sandbanks clocked in at a mere 4,000 to 7,000 years old. Basically the geological equivalent of a backyard patio, not Jurassic Park's set design. No sign of million-year-old monkey masonry, unless you count seashells and limestone. Honestly, back then, the only builders were proto-mammals dodging predators, not hammering nails, or forming a union, though their retirement plan was definitely still accruing interest. So sure, Ram Setu exists, but its origins are a cocktail of epic legend and natural science, where myth and history shake hands, right across those ancient, sandy shoals. Moving forward in time, the legendary Ram Setu connects with another epic event, the Mahabharata War, believed to have taken place 5,000 years ago. Was the Mahabharata War really a Bronze Age blockbuster exactly 5,000 years ago? Or did someone simply forget to rewind their sundial? According to countless family WhatsApp forwards and traditional Indian calendars, the answer is a trumpeting yes. Enthusiasts wholeheartedly anchor history to 3,100 BCE, insisting the Mahabharata's war kicked off precisely then, complete with timeline-stretching astronomical references that would make even Galileo blink. If that were true, Krishna would have been the world's first social media influencer, armed with a conch shell instead of a selfie stick. But here's the catch. Scholars, wielding skepticism, and maybe an allergy to overly specific dates, remind us that the Mahabharata isn't exactly a straightforward diary. It's a chewy palimpsest, a storytelling layer cake baked over centuries. Archaeologists, meanwhile, find next to nothing at the supposed war site. No chariot parking lots, no arrows etched with Pandava was here. Dating the Mahabharata is like assembling IKEA furniture blindfolded. There's always a screw or two missing. Sure, the text twinkles with astronomical clues, but most historians play it safe, placing the epic's composition somewhere between 400 BCE and 400 CE. The events? Possibly older, maybe mythical, but definitely not stamped with a 3,100 BCE warranty. Honestly, the only thing that might be 5,000 years old here is the argument itself. Now blow out the candles and let's move on. Alongside these epic wars, ancient texts also describe remarkable technologies like Vimanas, the flying machines of ancient India. Long before the Wright brothers even dreamed of Kitty Hawk, some claim India was cruising the skies with ancient airplanes. Apparently, Air India wasn't the subcontinent's first airline. Take that, Wright brothers. Enter the legendary Vimanas, flying chariots from ancient texts like the Mahabharata, piloted by gods, heroes, and presumably the occasional demigod Uber driver. Then there's the Vaimanika Shastra, an early 20th century Sanskrit text claiming to decode these high-flying machines. Packed with so many diagrams and technical gobbledygook, you'd think it was an ancient Boeing manual. Here's the kicker. After centuries of searching, no physical Vimanas, blueprints, or even the world's oldest black box have ever shown up. Modern aviation experts gave the Vaimanika Shastra a once-over and concluded its designs would make a paper airplane look like a SpaceX rocket. Historians aren't buying tickets either. They agree Vimanas belong in the realm of myth, not runway. But like any good legend, the story endures. Maybe those Vimanas are just parked in invisible garages, waiting for their next divine tune-up. The existence of such advanced technologies reflects the grandeur of a time when all the world was said to be ruled from ancient India, known as Akhand Bharat. Imagine a secret control room in ancient India, robed sages flipping switches, tweaking the destinies of Vikings, sending siesta alerts to Romans, and now and then green-lighting an Aztec salsa party. According to the wildest corners of the internet, Akhand Bharat, the undivided India, once stretched from Athens to Bali, running empires with the subtle aroma of cardamom wafting across continents. Sure, the Maurya and Gupta empires were heavyweight champs in South Asia's ancient geopolitical ring. But if Mauryan couriers really delivered to Norway, that's not history. That's Amazon Prime with a time machine. In truth, mythmakers love to pitch trade, Rome's coins here, Sanskrit words there, as evidence of a vast imperial command center. But historians and archaeologists set the record straight. While traders, monks, and mathematicians crisscrossed oceans, no global Indian parliament was bossing around Cleopatra or Confucius. Every empire, from Rome to the Mongols, aimed for world domination and flopped spectacularly. India included, GPS or no GPS. Akhand Bharat is a modern daydream, not an Iron Age fact. Ancient India's real power? Ideas, not armies. Just ask your yoga teacher. This vast and powerful civilization recorded its knowledge in sacred texts, with the Rig Veda written down 12,000 years ago. Imagine trying to cram a 1,000 hymn playlist into your brain for centuries. No Spotify, just raw memory power. Now, some claim the Rig Veda, the granddaddy of Sanskrit texts, dates back a staggering 12,000 years, so ancient it outdates pyramids, Stonehenge, and even your great-aunt's secret stash of cryptic home remedies. Why? Because everyone loves a good old-fashioned game of my civilization's older than yours. Bragging rights, after all, are eternal. But reality, unlike those family reunion tall tales, comes with receipts. Linguists and archaeologists are pretty sure the Rig Veda was composed between 1500 and 1200 BCE, ancient enough to give Rome a serious inferiority complex, but probably not penned by woolly mammoths. No writing survived from that time anyway. Scripts in ancient India only showed up when Emperor Ashoka started engraving edicts around the 3rd century BCE. So if the Rig Veda really were 12,000 years old, archaeologists would hand in their resignation letters, and historians would clutch their pearls. Let's stick to the facts. Ancient, yes, but not prehistoric, unless you're pitching a new sci-fi series. Within these ancient narratives are the curious tales of practices like transplanting animal heads onto humans, as in the story of Ganesha. Ever heard the one about a kid losing his head and getting an elephant-sized upgrade? It's not just a bedtime tale. It's a trunk load of ancient myth. The legend begins with Parvati, goddess and avid deities, sculpting her perfect son, Ganesha. His job? Home security. No high-tech gadgets, just a kid loyally guarding the front door. Then Dad Shiva swings by and things take a dramatic turn. Ganesha's a bit too committed to his post, and Shiva, confused and theatrical, responds by, well, decapitating his son. Definitely not your run-of-the-mill father-son disagreement. Enter the divine fix. Shiva orders his team to fetch the head of the first creature they find. Cue the world's first elephant cameo, and just like that, Ganesha's sporting a brand new look. Half boy, half pachyderm, and 100% divine. Forget Halloween masks, this one's a forever wardrobe upgrade. Some claim this proves ancient Indian transplantation surgery. Modern science begs to differ, filing it under mythical medicine rather than an ancient episode of Grey's Anatomy. But hey, talk about a face you'll never forget. Further legends describe mysterious beings like the Nagas, serpent people believed to have lived underground. Forget the usual basement roommates. Ancient legends say Nagas, those legendary serpent folk, set up shop in luxury underworld condos. Imagine this, not dusty storage units stuffed with forgotten exercise bikes, but glamorous lairs sprawling right beneath your feet. In Hindu and Buddhist lore, Nagas are the ultimate mythical landlords, half human, half cobra beings with enough mystique to make your average HOA swoon. These part-time deities supposedly ruled jewel-encrusted underground cities so dazzling, even Indiana Jones would need sunglasses. Ancient texts describe Patala, the Naga homeland, as a subterranean paradise with rivers of milk and more gems than your late-night shopping channel. Apparently, Nagas skipped the whole rent and daylight thing. Some tales say they jealously guard ancient secrets, popping up only to summon a monsoon or two. Yet after centuries of rumors, archaeologists have found 0 scaly landlords or lost Naga palaces, just lots of rocks and an army of slightly disappointed Indiana Jones impersonators. Still, you have to wonder, what is it about hidden powers slithering just beneath the floorboards, or let's be honest, under the bed, that captivates every culture so irresistibly? The supernatural extends to events such as Sanjaya's live broadcast of the Kurukshetra War, using mystical vision to relay the battle. Imagine the first war correspondent, but with a third eye and a direct hotline to the gods. Move over, BBC, Sanjaya's in the house. Legend has it, this visually challenged reporter didn't just get a pair of magical specs. He scored full-on divine vision from sage Vyasa, just in time to narrate every epic skirmish for the blind king Dhritarashtra. Forget slow-mo replays. Sanjaya was dropping instant blow-by-blow updates from the Kurukshetra front, basically inventing war journalism millennia before live reporting or cable TV existed. Now don't picture him sneaking behind bushes with binoculars. With his supernatural sight, Sanjaya caught both the mortal mayhem and the metaphysical madness. Chariots crashing, celestial weapons zipping, and gods pausing mid-battle for philosophical TED Talks. This was cosmic carnage. Glasses just wouldn't cut it. Sanjaya didn't need press passes. He had a cosmic backstage pass. Dhritarashtra relied on him completely, trusting his most visionary play-by-play for facts, not fluff. Despite the mythic mayhem, Sanjaya stayed the ancient world's most ethical anchor, delivering the unvarnished truth, whether anyone was ready to hear it or not. Miraculous feats also include sage Agastya drinking the ocean dry to aid the gods during times of conflict. Thirsty? Meet Agastya, the original one-man desalination plant before spa water was even a twinkle in the wellness world's eye. This Vedic sage, boasting a spiritual resume longer than the Ganges itself, turned hydration into pure legend. Fearing demons and adored by gods, Agastya was the kind of sage you'd want in your corner, whether you're drowning in a flood or up against an unbeatable demon horde. Picture this. The gods are cornered, demon armies gone full submarine mode, lurking in the ocean depths. Enter Agastya. No magical straw here, sponsored gadgets were clearly out of budget. Just sheer wisdom, and a thirst so epic he downs the entire ocean like it's his personal all-you-can-drink buffet. Competitive eaters, step aside. Agastya took drink up to cosmic levels. But this wasn't just a flashy party trick. It was a metaphor for tackling colossal challenges with brains and faith. Sure, sea creatures were less than thrilled. Hello, fish out of water. And ship captains got an unexpected vacation, stranded with no ocean in sight. Yet once the gods claimed victory, Agastya released the waves back, proving even cosmic thirst has its limits. So next time a jellyfish ruins your beach day, remember, Agastya nearly fixed that mess millennia ago. His ocean-gulping legend keeps rippling through Indian myth, quenching cultural thirsts for epic tales and sage solutions alike. Among the formidable beings of those times was Ravana, famed for having 10 heads in the most literal sense. Imagine needing 10 toothbrushes just to start your day. Welcome to Ravana's morning routine. Picture him wobbling out of bed, 10 noggins jockeying for sink space, each head grumbling over which toothpaste flavor to pick. After all, he's often drawn with a literal bouquet of faces stacked on one seriously overworked neck. Many take this portrait at face value, pun intended, but the truth isn't about real estate on his skull. It's about the size of his brain power. Ravana's famous 10 heads symbolize his encyclopedic knowledge and layered personality. Think Renaissance man multiplied by 10. Not multitasker, spun dizzy on a tilt-a-whirl shore. Classic art and theater ran wild depicting him as the world's first monster meme. But scholars agree those crania represent his mastery of 6 Shastras and 4 Vedas. So yes, his passport photo was basically a fold-out poster, and his hat maker quit by lunchtime. But it's his wisdom, not his headgear, that truly stands out. Neck cramps? Only from the sheer weight of genius. Spiritual wonders accompanied these figures, like the sacred river Ganga descending directly from heaven to earth. Picture this, a divine river hurtling toward earth like a cosmic luge athlete, threatening to flood everything in its path. Talk about a splash landing worthy of legend. No big deal, just your typical intergalactic plumbing crisis. The tale goes that the Ganga, tired of starry solitude, was lured down to earth by eons of prayer and penance, led by King Bhagirath, basically the ancient patron saint of all overachieving students pulling all-nighters. But there was a catch. If Ganga crashed down unchecked, northern India risked becoming the world's first water park, and not the fun kind with margaritas and slides. Enter Lord Shiva, ultimate multitasker and hairstylist extraordinaire, who snagged the celestial flood in his wild locks and carefully choreographed her descent. For millennia, Ganga's been the goddess of purity, a dirt-defying diva, though modern stretches reveal more mud mask than spa treatment. Scientists insist she's glacier-born from Gangotri, not birthed on Cloud 9. Her 2,500-kilometer marathon carries life, legend, and occasionally enough pollution to inspire collective sighs and urgent prayers. Yet for millions, every dip is a sacred swim. Divine or not, she just keeps flowing, through hearts, history, and the headlines. Such divine intervention continued with Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill to shield villagers from devastating rain. Only Krishna could flip a landslide into the ultimate family picnic. Imagine this. The villagers are gearing up for the annual Indra festival. Fingers crossed their rain prayers summon gentle sprinkles, not a celestial water balloon ambush. The party playlist is divine, until Krishna chimes in with a remix. Why not worship the local Govardhan Hill instead? Suddenly, cloud gods get the cold shoulder, and regional cuisine scores a spotlight. Indra, famously allergic to being upstaged, retaliates with a monsoon-less light sprinkle and more Noah's Ark, the sequel. Floodwaters rise, villagers wail, and even the cows start considering synchronized swimming lessons. Enter Krishna, unfazed. He lifts Govardhan Hill with his pinky, as casually as showing off a flashy ring. Instantly, the entire town, livestock included, bunches up beneath the hill, inventing under one roof long before open-plan living was cool. Turns out, the only flood insurance you needed in ancient Vrindavan was Krishna's pinky finger. If he'd charged rent for that hill shelter, Sam's Club would have gone out of business. Indra, realizing he's been outfingered, sheepishly calls off the rain, leaving everyone dry, and just a little awestruck. Legend has it, the cows still look forward to storm season, hoping for a repeat party under the hill. The origins of key figures like the Kauravas are as extraordinary as the tales themselves, born from a clay pot. Forget storks. When it came to baby delivery, the Kauravas were more pottery class gone wild than nursery rhyme. According to legend, Gandhari endured the longest pregnancy ever recorded in mythology, only to give birth not to a bouncing baby boy, but a mysterious, hefty lump of flesh. Enter Sage Vyasa, part impromptu surgeon, part artisanal midwife. He sliced that lump into 100 tidy pieces, plus one extra for a daughter, each chunk lovingly marinated in ghee and tucked into its own clay pot. Ta-da! 100 sons and a daughter popped out like a surprise batch from some cosmic crock-pot. Talk about needing a bigger nursery, and maybe a fire drill. Ancient audiences took it as a divine mic drop, fate's way of saying, brace yourselves, epic family drama loading. But let's be honest, there's zero archaeological evidence for mass pot baby production. Modern scholars see it as grand symbolism, a flamboyant warning that sometimes trouble doesn't just come knocking, it arrives in bulk. Legends also tell of eternal beings like Ashwatthama, cursed to roam the earth alive even today. Ever heard the one about the ancient warrior who just never RSVP'd to death? Meet Ashwatthama, the world's OG social distancer. Forget 6 feet apart. He's been ghosting humanity for a cool 3,000 years. Here's the legend. Ashwatthama, the fierce son of Drona from the Mahabharata, pulled a war crime so dark. Not only did he murder sleeping children, but he also broke every cosmic HR policy known to gods and mortals alike. His punishment? Eternal exile, cursed with endless wounds and stuck with a front-row ticket to a world he can never leave. Think of him as the supernatural Where's Waldo, rumored to lurk everywhere from shadowy forests to crowded train stations, yet never once signing an attendance sheet. And despite India's love for legendary tales and miracle cures, no archaeologist or historian has ever found this guy limping about, aloe vera in hand. Scholars gently suggest it's more a story about guilt and consequence than an ancient zombie tale. Honestly, he outlasts most yogurts, and definitely any reality TV star's career. If he ever swiped right on a dating app, profile highlight, eternal wanderer. Baggage, metaphysical, and very visible. Mythical realms abound in these stories, including Trishanku's heaven, believed to be a real place in the sky. Imagine a man so stubborn he decided to build his own heaven because the old ones had too many rules. Meet Trishanku, the MVP of celestial defiance straight out of Hindu mythology. His only wish? To ascend to heaven in his mortal body, basically the original dream of skipping both customs and cremation. The gods, unsurprisingly, hit him with a cosmic hard pass. Mortals don't get that kind of upgrade. Enter sage Vishwamitra, who, never one to shy away from a divine challenge, crafted a whole new heaven on the fly. Think, a celestial Airbnb with 0-star reviews because gravity kept crashing the party. And thus, the infamous Trishanku's heaven was born. A legendary patch of sky stuck neither on Earth nor in the heavens. So next time you see an ad for floating palaces available, just swipe left. Science says no sky condos exist, only clouds and the occasional confused drone. But the phrase, Trishanku's heaven? It's perfect for that awkward limbo between worlds. Or when your Wi-Fi signal lingers stubbornly at one bar, neither here nor there. All these tales emphasize how ancient India was a source of profound inventions, from plastic surgery to nuclear bombs. Ever met someone who insists ancient India invented, well, literally everything? From nose jobs to nukes, these tall tales make history read like a Bollywood sci-fi blockbuster. Just add dancing atoms and singing sages. According to urban legend and some over-enthusiastic WhatsApp forwards, ancient Indian sages founded the world's first Silicon Valley, complete with Wi-Fi temples, robotic elephants, and maybe even a secret stash of nuclear warheads. So where do these myth takes come from? Cue ancient epics, mesmerizing poems, and a generous dash of 19th century nationalism. Think of it as a proud game of historical telephone. Sure, India gifted us 0, not to be confused with my karaoke score. Groundbreaking mathematics, urban drainage systems that put many modern towns to shame, and pioneering surgery. Yes, especially the artful fixing of noses, not Instagram likes. Sushruta described reconstructive surgery, but let's not kid ourselves. He didn't invent the selfie filter. Despite what some memes claim, there's 0 evidence of atom bombs or space shuttles, unless you count chariot races with the horsepower of smugglers. If nuclear bombs were an ancient Indian export, you'd expect a catchy Sanskrit slogan by now. The real magic? Celebrating India's genuine legacy while keeping ancient superheroes out of the particle physics symposium. Next up, how modern India juggles pride and myth with enviable flair.